This year isn't about a trophy. This year isn't about a placing. This year is about proving to people that what they saw in 2022 was only a fraction of what I can be. 2024 is about the year of redemption. It is Thursday, June 27th, and we are 3 days out from the show. In today's video, I am going to be taking you guys through the first day of the carb up. So I definitely think one of the mistakes that I made going into Calgary was that I was a little bit on the flatter side, which is funny to say considering that I did do 2 days back to back of 600 grams of carbs. But I just think that I had been dieting myself so hard that I needed a little bit more time to go ahead and actually fill up. So that has been the main goal going into this show, is going to be to have the body weight a little bit higher, but be a lot fuller. The benefit with that as well is that I have pulled down about 4 to 5 pounds already starting out compared to where I was going into Calgary. Starting weight Calgary carbing up was right around, I want to say, like the 171 mark, whereas starting the carb up for this show, I'm sitting right around kind of the 167.5. As well, throughout the week, basically from 9 days out, maybe even 10 days out, I have been slowly increasing my calories over time. So last Thursday was my last low day of 140 grams of carbs, right around 1700 calories. And then from there, I've been slowly adding in carbs and a little bit of fats. So Friday bumped up to 200 grams of carbs, body weight still didn't move. Saturday bumped up to 250, body weight still didn't move. Sunday added in 10 grams of fat, body weight still didn't really move. Going into Monday, added in another 25 grams of carbs up to 275, body weight still really didn't move. So that lets me know that, you know, we were not filling up. We were basically just dropping fatigue. We weren't actually filling up any glycogen stores. So then moving into Tuesday, bumped up to 300, and then finally yesterday it bumped up to 350. Ended up filling up a little bit from that 350, just due to the fact as well that yesterday was a rest day, so I am still holding on to a bit of that glycogen. But moving into today, like I said, Thursday, 3 days out, we are going to be pushing 700 grams of carbs today, and then based on the look, based on the weight tomorrow, most likely going to put in another 700 grams of carbs tomorrow, which is absolutely mind-blowing to think of, because I always thought that I was someone who had a quote-unquote slow metabolism and that my body didn't respond very well to food. But I think that it's actually the opposite here, where I have dieted so hard and I have pushed myself so flat for so long that I am going to need a fair bit of food to fill up. So obviously with eating 700 grams of carbs today, we don't want to be jamming those into 4 meals. I normally eat 4 meals throughout the day, but 700 grams of carbs across 4 meals is just going to be too much. So I'm actually going to be aiming to have 6 meals today, which did mean that I needed to start eating a little bit earlier. So you guys just saw me have meal number 1. Meal number 1 consisted of 200 grams of egg whites, 90 grams of cream of rice, 100 grams of banana, 100 grams of blueberries, and then 10 grams of 85% dark chocolate. Just keeping it nice and plain and simple. Same thing as the last carb up video that you guys would have saw. Not too much has changed. I'm still just focusing on foods that I have been eating this entire prep, foods that I know digest good, especially when we're taking in 700 grams of carbs. We do want to make sure that those foods are digesting good. So we are just hanging out, getting some work here done. It is about 9:30, so like I said, still relatively early. We're going to go ahead and eat meal 2 here in about 45 minutes, and then that will be our pre-workout meal. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. Okay guys, meal number 2 is going to be our pre-workout meal. So So this is going to be 100 grams of cream of rice, 25 grams of whey protein isolate, and then 100 grams of banana. And then as well, I have one Rice Krispie treat here. Again, just keeping things relatively low volume, as well as very carb dense, obviously, with the Rice Krispie treat, with the bananas, with the cream of rice. Like I talked about in the last carb up video, we do want to go ahead and make sure that we are pairing some sort of fructose with some sort of glucose when we are carbing up, because they do use two different pathways. So that is why you are going to see me having fruit with most of the meals throughout the day, because it is a good carb dense source of calories to go ahead and get that in without causing any distension, without causing any bloating, anything like that. So we're going to go ahead, eat this, and then we're probably going to go train in about an hour. But we got the second last workout going down today, a pull session. So we're going to go ahead and kind of see how the carbs are working going into this workout. So I'm going to go ahead, eat this, and then head off to the gym. So I will catch you guys in a bit. Alright guys, I apologize if this seems a little bit repetitive. It's probably going to be a little bit repetitive throughout the day, because as I mentioned, we just want to make sure that we are sticking to foods that are digesting well, and I just find that I digest these cream of rice meals very, very good. So I will probably have, I think, one more cream of rice meal after this one throughout the day, but the next two meals will be a little bit different. But we just got back from the gym, so our post-workout meal is going to be 90 grams of cream of rice, 100 grams of banana, 100 grams of blueberry, 10 grams of 85% dark chocolate, 25 grams of whey protein isolate, and then 20 grams of honey as well on top of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this. We still got 3 more meals to get down for the day, so I do want to make sure that I am spacing them out enough. We're doing pretty good. It's only about 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and then I will catch you guys at meal number 4. Alright guys, we are back at the table for meal number 4. I'm sorry if this video hasn't been too interesting. I've pretty much just been hanging out, eating today, getting the meals in, going for some little walks. Been doing about a 10-minute walk after each meal just to aid in digestion. Not to help with like energy expenditure or anything like that, but just simply to aid in digestion and get some movement in, because these are relatively large meals. But coming into meal number 4, it's actually not cream of rice. This meal is going to consist of 300 grams of white jasmine rice. As well, we have 100 grams of chicken breast in there, 100 grams of pineapple, 100 grams of asparagus, and then 5 grams of coconut oil. And then as well here I have 2 caramel rice cakes, just to go ahead and help get a little bit extra carbs in that are a little bit of a sweet treat, so kind of a little dessert there, because adding extra rice, this is already a good amount of rice here, so adding extra rice would just make it a little bit harder to get down. But yeah, this is going to be meal number 4, keeping it plain and simple. As you have seen, most of the meals are going to be rice-based with some sort of fruit source in there. I just find that it digests well for me personally. Some people digest other things better, some people don't digest rice, but I find for the majority of the time, most people do digest rice-based products really good. So, you know, rice cakes, Rice Krispie squares, Rice Krispie cereal, rice, cream rice, different things like that are going to be the easiest to go ahead and digest, especially when you are eating large quantities of food like I am today. We're putting in 700 grams of carbs today, so we want to make sure that we're not feeling all bloated and distending the midsection. We want to make sure that we're keeping that nice and tight. So I'm going to go ahead, eat this, go and probably just chill out for a little bit, go for my little walk after this, and then other than that, just kind of chilling, hanging out. We are a couple days out, so at this point, we want to keep stress levels low and just be hanging out, so probably just watch a movie or something, and then I will catch you guys for meal number 5. Sitting down for meal number 5. This is going to be very similar to what meal number 4 was. So this meal is going to consist of 300 grams of white jasmine rice again, 100 grams of shrimp this time instead of chicken, 100 grams of pineapple still, as well as 100 grams of asparagus, and then 25 grams of avocado in there for some fats. Keeping fats relatively low today compared to what I did for the last carb up, just because I feel like my body is able to process the carbs a little bit better and I'm able to digest them a little bit better without a whole bunch of fats kind of slowing things down. Fats are still at 40 grams today, so still enough in there to kind of keep things moving, but 25 grams of avocado in there for that, and then 2 more rice cakes again as well for that little bit of extra carbs. So we got this meal to go, and then we'll do one more meal before bed to go ahead and round things out. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this because it is already 7:40 and I still got one more meal to eat, so probably eat that about in an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and then I will catch you guys for the 6th and final meal. Alright guys, coming into the 6th and final meal of the day. I'm not gonna lie, I am tired at this point and ready to head to bed, but we got one more meal to eat. So we are back to the cream of rice, which I don't mind. I really do enjoy cream of rice. It's very tasty, especially the flavored cream of rices. So here we have 90 grams of cream of rice, 100 grams of blueberries, 15 grams of almond butter for some fats in there, and then 25 grams of whey protein isolate, and then just 2 caramel rice cakes on the side again, just because I do find that I digest them very, very easily. They're very low fat, so it's easy to go ahead and kind of get those carbs in without having a ton of extra fats or protein or anything like that in there. It's just nice, plain and simple carbs. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, probably check in with you guys in the morning. We'll go ahead and take some progress photos, check the weight, see how things moved over the course of the day. I have been tracking my weight throughout the day and it has been trending up, obviously because I've been drinking water, eating food, things like that. So I want to see how much weight I actually flush overnight and how much of the carbs actually stuck, and then we can go ahead and kind of assess whether I need to eat less tomorrow, whether I eat the same tomorrow, whether I eat more tomorrow, different things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead, eat this, head to bed, and then I will probably catch up with you guys in the morning. Good morning guys, it is Friday, June 28th. It is the next day after we just did the 700 grams of carbs yesterday. Ended up only going up 0.6 of a pound, which is absolutely wild to think about, that I ate 700 grams of carbs yesterday and it really didn't fill me up all that much. Due to the fact that I only went up about 0.6 of a pound, we're actually going to go ahead and increase the carbs today to 800 grams of carbs, which is absolutely wild to think about, and I kind of struggled to get in the 6 meals of 700 grams of carbs yesterday, so definitely going to make sure that I start eating nice and early today and go ahead and probably incorporate a little bit more carb-dense sources of food, such as the Rice Krispie Squares and stuff like this, to just go ahead and hit that 800 grams of carbs for the day. But realistically, hopefully this will go ahead and fill me up, because tomorrow is one day out and we don't want to be pushing, 800 to 1,000 grams of carbs a day out, because then that's just going to lead to a lot of stomach distension. It's going to lead to some digestive issues, and we don't want to have that at one day out. So going to go ahead and push things today with the 800 grams of carbs, and then probably bring things down close to baseline tomorrow based on kind of what the weight is and whatnot, and kind of how things are looking, and then we can go ahead and kind of toggle things from there. But
nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and get started eating. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. As always, if you guys are new around here, make sure to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Other than that, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.